Torej, ker je to bilo 1981, ne moramo pričakovati, da se bo gospa spomnila točno kateri od teh.
Prav piše zelo učinkovit.
It says it was a very efficient tea. It says in the book. So one of the tools.
Well, I'll have to read the book. It was probably better.
Verjetno od med.
That's very powerful.
Torej, vprašanja. V slovenščini potem jih bom pa prevedel. Jaz bi vas prosil, ko postavite vprašanje, da na glas poveste tako, da vsi ostali tudi slišite. Ja, izvolite.
Mene zanima, če je klistir s kavo popolnoma neškodljiv, nekateri alternativni zdravniki.
Torej, še enkrat bom ponovil vprašanje. Gospod zanima, če je klistir s pomočjo kave popolnoma neškodljiv, kajti nekateri zdravniki ga odsvetujejo. Alternativni zdravniki. So the question is whether using coffee or enema is really does your body no harm, because some alternative doctors seem not to encourage patients to do this.
What, to drink coffee or to have coffee enema?
Coffee enema.
To have coffee enema.
What reason do they give for that?
Ali navajajo kakršnekoli razloge, zakaj bi bilo to škodljivo?
Samo čista voda.
They claim only pure water is the right thing to go.
Now wait a minute, they are perfectly right. Pure water is if you need help with evacuating your gut.
Torej, čista voda je absolutno prava stvar, če potrebujete pomoč, da izpraznite vaše črevesje.
But the coffee enema does not serve the purpose of emptying your gut, but to stimulate the production of bile from the liver, and water can't do that.
Torej, funkcija kave v temu procesu ni, da izprazni vaše črevesje, temveč da stimulira nastajanje žolča, ki poskušuje izločanje slabih stvari iz jetra.
Because what happens is that the caffeine is absorbed straight into the liver. It doesn't go through the digestive system, obviously. It irritates in a good sort of way. The liver produces more bile, and as the bile is evacuated, it takes with it a lot of toxins, and that's the purpose of the coffee enema.
Torej, kava direktno pride v sistem jeter, kjer iritira na pozitiven način jetra, da spodbujajo nastanek žolča, in ko se žolč izloča, se sabo vzame slabe stvari, ki so se nabrale v jeter. Naslednje vprašanje. Izvolite.
V knjigi se piše veliko o lanjenem olju. Ali je tudi olivno olje dobro?
V knjigi se veliko piše o lanenem olju, vprašanje je, če je tudi olivno olje dobro. So there is a lot in the book about the flaxseed oil.
Flaxseed,
Yes,
oil,
flaxseed
yes.
oil.
Yeah.
And the question is whether the olive oil would also be a good alternative.
No, unfortunately not, because we take the flaxseed oil because of the omega-3. And olive oil is wonderful, but it doesn't produce that. And we have no other oil or fat in person therapy. So that is simply to provide that essential element.
To olje se je vključilo v terapijo zaradi omega-3 maščob. In druga olja tega ne zagotavljajo. Zato je izbrano bilo to olje. Ker ima največ omega-3 maščob. Še vprašanja? Zdaj je priložnost.
Jaz imam še eno vprašanje.
Ja.
Če bi lahko v angleščini postavil gospe.
Seveda, sam na glas.
Okay, I have a question about the soya product. The thing is that a lot of doctors are really divided into groups. One says it's really good for you and it's really a good substitute for meat, and the other one says it's really like the most genetically made.
Modified.
Yeah, and what's your opinion about that? Is soya really okay, or is it really just some
Well,
bad alternative to me.
yes, of course.
Vprašanje gospoda je glede soje in sojenih produktov, izdelkov, zato ker se zdi, da so zdravniki razdeljeni v dva taborja. Eden to podpira, drugi pa pravi, da je to živilo, ki je najbolj gensko modificirano. Gospodar zanima, kakšno mnenje od gospe Beate glede soje.
That's a very good question, actually. Soya, one of the reasons it's been recommended was that in the Far East it's been used for thousands of years and it's good for people, except that the way they use it in the Far East is totally different from the way it is used in Europe or North America.
Eden od razlogov, zakaj je bila soja zelo priporočena, je, ker so jo uporabljali pred tisoči leti v nadaljnjem vzhodu, vendar je način, kako so ga takrat uporabljali v daljnem vzhodu, popolnoma drugačen od načina, ki se ga danes uporablja v Evropi ali v Ameriki.
The other reason why soya is very much promoted is that in the United States it's a $1 billion business.
Drugi razlog, zakaj je soja zelo promovirana, zelo priporočena, je, ker je to multimilijardni posel posebej v Ameriki.
And now most of it is genetically modified anyway.
In večina soje je gensko spremenjene. To slučajno, da je 93% svetovne produkcije.
But the real problem is that soya prevents the absorption of some very important nutrients which we would get from some other foods.
Zelo pomembno pa je, da soja preprečuje, da bi telo prevzelo nekatera druga hranila, ki so pa zelo pomembna.
I have at home a report of a conference which gives some 15 very good reasons why soya shouldn't be eaten. I didn't bring it with me, I can't remember the 15 points, but on Gerson we are not allowed to crush soya at all.
Doma imam poročilo z neke konference, kjer je navedeno 15 pomembnih razlogov, zakaj sojo ne bi uporabljali in znotraj Gersonove terapije soje nimamo.
Also, there are lots of people who are allergic to it.
Poleg tega je veliko ljudi, ki so alergični na sojo.
So the answer is no soya.
Torej, kratek odgovor na vprašanje je ne soja.
What about milk and milk products? There are also very different opinions about milk.
Vprašanje, kaj pa mleko in mlečni izdelki, tudi obstajajo zelo različni pogledi na mleko in mlečni izdelki.
Milk was invented by nature for calves.
Mleko je bilo izumljeno, narava je izumljala mleko za teličke.
Because a cow grows very quickly, the milk contains an awful lot of growth hormones, which are fine for the cow, not so hot for us.
Torej, teličke oziroma mlade živali, mladičke, ker hitro rastejo, potrebujejo veliko sestavin, ki jih mleko vsebuje, vendar mleko ni dizajnirano za rast oziroma za nas.
The exception is fermented milk products, and for instance, on Gerson, when we start the therapy, the intensive, for the first 6 weeks we get absolutely no animal protein. If we are doing well, after 6 weeks we can have a very small amount of organic beef fatty cottage cheese.
Ena izjema pa je, in to so fermentirano mleko oziroma mlečni izdelki v Gersonovi terapiji. Po 6 tednih, če vam gre dobro, lahko začnete uživati majhne količine ekološkega sirčka in skuta, jogurta in skute brez maščob. To je dovolj. Sir pa ni dovolj.
And then if the patient continues to do well, this little bit of protein is available for not very much or yogurt.
Torej, če nadalje gre pacientu dobro, potem se lahko ta manjša količina poveča, se pravi tega sirčka oziroma jogurta. Jogurta pa skuta. Aha, skuta. Coffee cheese, skuta.
Yes.
Ja. Ne sirček, se pravi ne sir.
And I remember the first portion, which was about that big of cottage cheese I had at the clinic. It was the most wonderful thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Torej, prvi košček, majhen košček, ki se ga takrat zaužila na kliniki, je bila nekaj najlepšega v življenju, da sem lahko spet to spovedala. Skutek.
Anything else?
So this also applies just for cow milk, or does it also apply to goat milk or?
No, you cannot separate goat or sheep milk to defat it, because it's homogenized by nature.
Okay.
And only cow's milk can be defatted, and we are not allowed to have fat in the early stages. And
So-
that's why it has to be cow's milk.
So does this also have something to do with lactose or not?
No,
No. So if lactose is present basically in all kinds of milk.
no, that's okay.
Vprašanje gospoda je bilo, ali to isto velja, se pravi skuta ali jogurt, za kozje ali ovčje mleko, in odgovor je, da ne, kajti kozje in ovčje mleko sta po naravni poti homogenizirana in ni možno iz njih odvzeti maščobo, in v terapiji je dovoljeno samo uporaba mleka brez maščobe, se pravi kravjega mleka.
Yes, it's sorry.
Del terapije so tudi dopolnila, prehranska dopolnila, in vprašanje je, če je lahko terapija uspešna tudi brez uporabe teh prehranskih dopolnil.
Dr. Gerson was German, and therefore he was very thorough. And for about 30 years he experimented with what was necessary to make this therapy work.
Dr. Gerson je bil Nemec in kot vsi Nemci zelo temeljit in približno 30 let je eksperimentiral s tem, kaj deluje in kaj ne deluje.
The supplements are necessary because when we get cancer, normally our digestive system and metabolism is not working properly.
Prehranska dopolnila so potrebna in pomembna zaradi tega, ker če dobimo raka, naš prebavni sistem in metabolizem ne delujeta več tako, kot bi morala.
For instance, it has been found that cancer patients, generally speaking, don't have enough stomach acid.
Splošno je bilo ugotovljeno, da pacienti oziroma osebe z rakom na splošno nimajo zadosti želodčne kisline.
Now, since the therapy is based on nutrition and hypernutrition, which the body has to absorb, we have to help the digestive system to absorb it properly.
Ker je terapija temelji na hranilih in superhranilih, moramo poskrbeti za to, da telo lahko ta hranila tudi presnovi.
Now, for instance, one of the important supplements is acetylpepsin, which is precisely for the stomach to be able to work properly.
Eden od pomembnih dodatkov je acetylpepsin, ki ravno spodbuja ustvarjanje želodčne kisline.
And then we have pancreatin, which is helping the pancreas to do its job. And every single supplement serves a particular purpose. And this is why I said that the therapy is like a very fine Swiss watch. You can't remove bits and then hope that it still tick. It won't.
Terapija je kot tista švicarska ura, o kateri smo govorili, precizni instrument in ne morete odstraniti posameznega dela in nekako upati, da bo celoten instrument še vedno delal. Recimo uporablja se tudi en dodatek, ki spodbuja pankreatin za 12-ternik, trebušno svinožo. Ja. Torej vsi ti dodatki imajo svojo vlogo in ne moremo ne upoštevati.
So if somebody doesn't use the supplements, that person is not doing the best therapy.
Torej, če nekdo ne uporablja teh dodatkov, potem praktično ne izvaja Gersonove terapije.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is a system, you see. And one helps the other.
Celotna stvar je sistem in ena stvar pomaga drugi, torej potrebno vzeti vse navedena prehranska.
Do you have any difficulty about these things? They're all natural supplements. They're not.
No, they are very expensive, so it's very hard to get.
That I understand, yes.
Vsa ta dopolnila so naravna, težava je v tem, da so zdrava in da jih ni, da so draga in da jih ni enostavno v Sloveniji dobiti. In poštnina je zelo draga. They're expensive. You have to get a close roll on it.
I do understand, yes.
Še kakšno vprašanja? Tam nazadnji?
Če bi smela vprašati za vzdrževanje preventivo, katere smernice iz Gersonovo terapije v bistvu bi ona predlagala, da se upošteva, oziroma kakšno potem sem sliče do recimo ekoloških, kvalitetnih, ostalih rastlinskih maščob, mlečnih izdelkov, živalskih, jeza, vse, kar je v bistvu soli del terapije, pač ne vse podobno.
Okay, so the question is, the application or the usage of Gerson therapy as a prevention method. What would you like particularly to point out? Which parts of the Gerson therapy? What is to be recommended? What is particularly important for prevention
For
purposes?
prevention, you don't use the Gerson therapy, you use the Gerson lifestyle. I want to make this very clear. The therapy is for healing cancer and other big problems. The lifestyle is for anybody who is right enough to want to remain healthy. But that's not the therapy.
Zelo pomembno razlikovanje je med terapijo. Gersonova terapija je za tretma pacientov z rakom ali drugimi resnimi bolezni. Za prevencijo se ne uporablja terapija. Za prevencijo se uporablja tako zvani življenjski stil, Gersonov življenjski stil. Za vse tiste, ki so zadosti bistri, da spoznajo, da je to nekaj dobrega, kar lahko naredijo zase za svoje telo.
So the Gerson lifestyle would mean that you eat organic, you stick to about 80% of the Gerson diet. Well, that means that you don't eat red meat or anything like that. You can find it out from the books. That you make, if you have a juicer, I hope you have one, that you make 2 or 3 glasses of juice a day and 2 coffee enemas a week. And you don't drink alcohol, and you don't smoke, and you don't do any silly things.
Try to repeat this.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Torej, za prevencijo način življenja po Gersonovu deloma uporabljati Gersonovo dieto, ki je bolj natančno opisana v knjigah, stvari, ki se jih spomnim, uporabljati ekološka živila, ne jesti rdečega mesa, ne kaditi, ne uživati alkohola in tudi približno 2-krat na teden naj bi tudi listir s pomočjo kave izvajali.
3 soke na dan.
Pa 3 sokove na dan, pa se boš liste kako. Se pravi, če imate sokovnik, upam, da imate sokovnik, pravi gospa, se privoščite 3 sokove na dan.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this informative speech. I'm here invited by my wife, my lovely wife in the back. And I just have a question. I see sometimes it's gelatin-free food. What is gelatin and we should avoid it or not? Gluten-free. Gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
To vprašanje je, kakšna je pomembnost hrane brez glutena, ker gospod pravi, da večkrat vidi hrano z oznakom brez glutena.
Well, gluten is a component of most grains, and some people can't bear it. Some people develop a very strong allergic reaction. It's not universal. But those who cannot take gluten shouldn't touch it because it makes them quite ill.
Gluten je sestavina žitaric in obstajajo ljudje, ki so preprosto na to sestavino alergični in tisti, ki so alergični, naj ne bi uživali glutena.
How would I know? Does it have the symptoms?
The
Symptoms.
symptoms for being allergic to gluten.
Terrible pain in the stomach, diarrhea, nausea, anything that's awful.
The symptoms, se pravi, simptomi so vse, kar so grozne stvari, kot, kako se reče slovensko, driski? Ja, težave v želodcu oziroma večino trebuhov se te stvari, neprijetne stvari so lahko simptomi alergije na gluten.
May I ask why you are asking this?
We cannot benefit if we are eating that, if we don't have allergy. There is no benefit for healthy people to eat that.
Is there a benefit for
Yeah.
healthy people to eat
Yeah.
food with gluten?
No, without.
Without gluten? Is there any benefit? Healthy people? No.
If you are not allergic, why would you bother?
Yeah. We don't know either if we can benefit from it or not. That's why we ask.
Odgovor je, zdravi ljudje ne bojo imeli posebnih prednosti, če bodo jedli hrano brez glutena. Alright, any more questions? Maybe 2 or 3 more? Kakšno koli vprašanje, še 2 ali 3, potem bomo pa počasi morali zaključiti. Izvolite.
Vprašala bi rada, kakšno psihično podporo svetuje, če vemo, da je psiha in telo neločljivo povezani.
What kind of psychological support do you recommend based on the fact that psychological and body are very much interconnected?
Well, I don't know what is available in this country. Nothing?
Everything.
Everything. There is counseling which is slightly different, but not much different from psychotherapy. In fact, it is endlessly debated what's the difference between the two.
Torej obstaja neke vrste counseling, svetovanje, ki je malo drugačno od psihoterapije, vendar obstajajo neskončne debate, kaj je pravzaprav podobnost in kje je razlika med svetovanjem na eni strani in psihoterapijo na drugi strani.
Is it for a healthy person or a sick person?
Ali je za bolanga?
Recimo za bolanga, ki išče pomoč.
I would avoid any psychotherapist who is terribly rigid into a discipline.
Izogibali bi se vseh psihoterapevtov, ki so zelo nefleksibilni in so zelo usmerjeni v to svojo disciplino.
Because what a sick person needs, first of all, is to be heard, to be listened to.
Prva stvar, ki jo potrebuje oseba, ki ni zdrava, je, da se mu prisluhne, da ga nekdo posluša.
And for the therapist to allow the patient to bring out everything, however nasty or unpleasant it is, and just listen and allow it to come out.
Tisti, ki dela z pacientom, terapevt bi moral omogočiti, da iz pacienta pride vse ven, tudi zelo neprijetne stvari.
And then to try to discover what sort of burden, this psychological burden, this patient is carrying. Whether the life situation is so bad that unconsciously some people feel that the only way out is to die.
Potem pa naj bi terapevt ugotovil, kakšne vrste psihološkega bremena pacient nosi s seboj. Ali je mogoče v taki situaciji življenjski, da morda misli, smatra, da je edini način, kako lahko pride iz te situacije, da umre.
To answer your question, I should write another book.
Torej, zato, da bi dejansko odgovorila na to vprašanje od naše gostje, bi morala gospa napisati še eno.
It's a very big subject and it so much depends on who the patient is and how they can relate to each other, therapist and the patient. So I can't give you a straight answer.
Okay, thank you.
Gospa ne more dati direktnega odgovora, ker je zelo veliko odvisno od naveze, odnosa, situacije med pacientom in terapeutom. Še eno ali dve vprašanje? Tam le odzadi še?
Samo še podrobnost. Ker Gersonova terapija vključuje tudi sofis jeter, zdaj pa jeterne injekcije, a pomeni v bistvu, da tudi vsakodnevni prehrani bi rabili kaj od tega telo ali res čist
So the question is a detailed question.
Yes.
Since in the very beginning the therapy includes some liver injections, if consuming liver in a normal course of life, it has a particular importance.
It's not the same.
Ni isto.
The injection goes straight into the blood. The liver you have to cook and eat, and then it goes to the digestive system, and I'm afraid it's not quite the same.
Ni isto zaradi razloga, da injekcija gre direktno v krvni obtok. Če pa uživate, jetrca se morajo najprej prekuhati, morate najprej pojesti, grejo v prebavni sistem in preprosto ni enak.
Yes, but you mentioned liver juice in your book. Liver juice.
You mentioned liver juice in your book.
Yes. And unfortunately, we had to stop that because it was impossible to find absolutely pure, even organic calf livers. My personal suspicion is that the organic calf's liver was perfectly okay until they messed it up in the abattoir, in the slaughterhouse. That it may have got some Campylobacter infection. And you can't give an infected juice to a sick person, or even to a healthy person.
Čeprav je omenjen ta sok v knjigi, so morali prenehati s tem, ker niso mogli najti več surovine, se pravi teh jetrc, ki bi bila zadosti dobra, celo ekološka, so verjetno bila na začetku v redu, vendar v procesu, v klavnici in tako naprej so se verjetno okužila z določenimi bakterijami in seveda ne morete pacientu dati sok, ki vsebuje bakterije. Torej, s tem so zdaj prenehali. Last question. Zadnje vprašanje še kdo?
I would just like to ask about the clinic in Hungary. There is the first one was in Mexico, wasn't it?
That is still there.
It's still there. And now there is one in Hungary, and you simply write to it, or how do you get in touch if you want to go to the clinic?
Vprašanje je o kliniki, Gersonovi kliniki na Madžarskem, na kakšen način pravzaprav stopiti v kontakt s to kliniko.
You look it up on the internet. Google it.
Preprosto, pojdite na internet, pogooglajte in spostavite pomisliti.
Če lahko pomagam, imamo slovensko Gersonovo spletno stran, kar se tega tiče, in gor so vsa navodila, vse telefonske številke. Če nekdo ne govori dobro angleško, tudi brezplačno pomagamo vse prevesti material, tako naprej. Tako da se ni problem.
Prav, potem se pa vsem vam zahvaljujem, da ste se nam danes pridružili. And I would like to thank you once again for being our guest today. We have a small here. All directly from nature. And thank you very much in the name of all of us.
But thank you for coming and thank you for listening, and I wish you good health and good spirits. Very important. Thank you.
Naša obljuba, če kdo želi se z njo slikati, ali pa če želi v bistvu